The standoff in Oregon between militia members and the government is a battle that has been a long time coming. Hello everybody, Wild Bill for America here, and the reason it's happening is because some in the federal government have become monstrously abusive towards law-abiding citizens and is using unjust laws and unjust courts to stomp on American freedom. Now, to those of you who are cussing me for calling for a stand down in Oregon, here's what I have to say. The government is trampling on sacred ground. It was exactly abuses like these that led to the first American Revolution, and for those of you who know American history, there were incidents at both Lexington and Boston that triggered bloody revolution, and I do mean bloody. The Boston incident became known as the Boston Massacre after Americans were shot down by British troops. Massacre. That is what we are trying to avoid in Oregon. Oh, believe me, it's time for a showdown against unconstitutional tyranny that flows from Washington, D.C., and 2016 is probably the year for it, especially if corrupt government rats interfere with free and fair elections. But to avoid dead Americans and law enforcement officers, we need to make this showdown with more than just a handful of patriots. It needs to be a national effort, well planned with lots of media information exposing the government corruption that we are fighting. Because you know that the left-wing media will bury the truth and portray good Americans as the villains. It's going to take a standoff. Nothing else will garner the attention needed to expose the rats. But it's going to have to be well supplied and backed by veterans groups, the Black Robe Regiment churches, and the Constitutional Sheriffs of America. Do not underestimate the power of those groups to rein in government corruption. Take a good look at the Black Robe Regiment. They are the group most responsible for winning American freedom from the British. Today, over 2,000 Christian pastors have joined the Black Robe Regiment and are stepping up to speak out loud and clear about the evils that are sweeping our land. The big standoff will need to have multiple victims of government abuse standing on the front line telling their stories. The big standoff needs to have legal scholars like Chris Ann Hall right there on the front lines giving America a clear and powerful explanation for the action. The big standoff will need respected leaders like Sheriff Richard Mack, clearly visible, so that average Americans will see that the Patriot side is not just a pack of, what do they call them, homegrown terrorists. Do it right and Americans from all 50 states will join to give corrupt government the crotch kick it so richly deserves. I happen to know some retired Navy SEALs and Green Berets who would be there on the front line of a well-planned operation and might even provide some of the command structure. Oh yeah. A big standoff is coming, and it is desperately needed. 2016 may well be our last chance to get control of the federal government before it truly becomes a total left-wing dictatorship. I would lay out a trigger point. My choice would be to warn that tampering with the upcoming 2016 elections would be the trigger. If we the people end up with a new president who's a real fighter, we just might restore freedom and honor without shedding the blood of a single American, a goal that is worth going the extra mile for. This is Wild Bill for America. Thank you for watching, and America bless God again.